So the seal built this place and everything in it, except the people. Well, maybe even a few of them too, by the look.
I'm rather busy right now.
Ah, my erstwhile companion. You look remarkably coherent. Most mortals caught in a Daedric tempest would suffer some lasting effects.
Let's feed him to the Durzog.
Good idea. Get him, boys. Yes, that'll do. Open the gates.
Over here!
New challengers appear from the cold wastes. Are they worthy enough to face the pack? Let the games begin! They could handle something a little harder, eh?
You're doing very well.
It looks as if there's some fight in our challengers after all. Take them down. Go around.
Congratulations. You passed the first trial.
Yeah, they bested the finest sloths, drunkards, and fools we had to offer.
Adorable. Shall we give them a pendant?
I say, let's see how these soft skins fare against a real challenge.
To arms.
Use this to defeat them. Use this to defeat them.
We don't abide cheaters in the blessed crucible. You're going to pay for that!
Light it! cheaters in the crucible! Double rations for the team that brings me their head! Let the grand melee begin! And there we have it! The winners of the Grand Melee! Now for the true test. I've tamed the most exotic and dangerous beasts from the dark corners of Tamriel to test these challenges! The first monstrosities presented for your entertainment come from the ashlands of Morrowind. These creatures laid waste to an entire village before I captured them. Without further ado, it is my great honor to present a magically corrupted strain of shock. I call them Incineration Beetles! Surprisingly fierce! Is the real reason you've come today? Prepare yourselves, combatants! Pray to your gods and make your peace! You face the Stinger! From the volcanic island of Vardenfell, a creature of fury that knows no mercy! The vicious, the cruel, the Troll King!
Ah, my erstwhile companion. You look remarkably coherent. Most mortals caught in a Daedric tempest would suffer some lasting effects. I'm impressed. Baffled, but impressed. Already? I expected him to wait at least a week before summoning me. Seal's concept of time bears only a faint resemblance to our own. You should set out. I'll be along shortly. You didn't, though. Bully for you. In truth, I sought an alternate route to the throne, through the Everglow. Unfortunately, Nocturnal detected my presence immediately. One of the few burdens of near-divine power. I'm difficult to miss. Trapped? No. Impeded, perhaps? Fortunately, Nocturnal's attention turned to you and the good Proctor when you defeated the Shadow. It gave me the opportunity to pinpoint the object of her fury. You. I followed her to the throne. The rest is history. Taking it all in, I suppose. Surely you won't begrudge me a moment of vulnerability. This place, it is something. I sense that I won't return anytime soon, if at all. When you've lived as long as I have, that actually starts to mean something. One can only marvel at a rival's triumphs for so long before that awe turns to resentment, and I have no time for petty jealousy. I have plans of my own, and countless realms to explore. I can't afford to linger anywhere for long.
What a sight! Oh, I can't wait to write home about this.
Thank you both for coming.
Of course, old friend. You seem troubled. More troubled than usual, I mean.
Perceptive, as always. I do not wish to diminish your achievement, but Nocturnal's defeat here will be short-lived. What's more, she does not act alone. A third enemy looms at the edge of my sight. Their covetous eyes are now fixed on the Somerset Isles.
Then we should inform the rest of the Sijiks. We'll need to prepare.
I will inform them personally. I have a separate task for you, Devaith. Take the skeleton key. Keep it hidden for as long as you can. I trust that this task pleases you. After all, your love of such trinkets is what brought you here in the first place.
Sometimes I wonder if you see too much. I will keep it safe.
Farewell, Devaithfir. We will not meet again. I haven't visited this memorial for centuries, but even I need reminders every now and again. Do you like this place? It took me the better part of a decade to perfect it. Every stone and flower tells a story. Tales of how things were, how they ought to be. I thought about destroying it on more than one occasion. I'm glad I didn't. I know. Ask and I will answer truthfully. Just know that the truth often fails to satisfy. You expect something grand, but I promised you the truth. I am only what time and circumstance made me. Son of a lost house, friend to a fallen king. Some will tell you that we are the product of our choices. I've never found that to be the case. I am whatever the people need me to be. A guardian, an oppressor, For some, too distant. For others, too meddlesome. I am the canvas upon which they paint their dreams and resentments. A vessel for their hopes and doubts. A mirror, nothing more. I don't. But my companions, Vivek and Almalexia, see their divinity as essential. Godhood brings them joy and purpose. They find meaning in the theatrical. Who am I to deprive them of that? Almalexia defies simple analysis. I doubt she could even describe herself accurately. To understand Almalexia, you must first understand the value of fiction. Vivek fancies himself the poet, but in truth, AM is the greatest storyteller. Vivek knows the boundaries that separate fact from fiction. He knows them so well that he's learned how to break them. He exists inside his verse, but recognizes the lies, the contradictions. He both does and does not believe his own tales. She believes her tales implicitly, as does everyone else. Her capacity for deception appears limitless. She sows lies like a master gardener sows seeds, and the harvest of trust and adulation is breathtaking in scope. Not in the slightest. As I said, we are, all of us, bound by our nature. Almalexia does what she does because she cannot do otherwise. It will not end well. But then, even the best endings rarely bring joy. Vivek is my brother. He knows my struggles, and I know his. That knowledge makes our relationship complicated. To truly know someone is as much a curse as it is a blessing. Regret. We are bound by that, at least. He also suffers a kind of enslavement. Not unlike my own, in fact. Beauty holds the keys to his shackles. Beauty and a love of great works, great heights. His appetites are insatiable, thus his despair. Yes, a poet's despair. Vivek craves writable freedom, the death of all limits and restrictions. He wishes to be all things at all times. Every race, every gender, every hero, both divine and finite. But in the end, he can only be Vivek. Not even remotely. I sometimes ask myself the same thing. May I confess something to you? I suffer from a peculiar ailment. Shall I describe it? I bear the cruel weight of certainty. Total, absolute, relentless certainty. People rarely comprehend the luxury of doubt, the freedom that comes with indecision. I envy you. Indeed, but such questions are flaccid, cursory indulgences that come and go in an instant. The truth is that my actions, both good and evil, are inevitable, locked in time, determined by chains of action and consequence. Compelled. This city serves a noble goal, the redemption of Tamriel, the unification of competing forces, the destruction of the Daedra. Unfortunately, it is an endeavor built upon a lattice of corpses. Betrayal, untold horrors. Do you understand? Good. I pray you never do. I instructed Devaith to run from the battle that is to come. Now, I urge you to run toward it. Long ago I brokered a truce with the princes of Oblivion. This pact bound 8 princes to an oath, that they would never again set foot on Tamriel. Nocturnal was not present when the princes signed the Cold Harbor Compact. Thus she flouts its restrictions. Now, this is important. Nocturnal does not act alone. 2 other princes lie in wait, Clavicus Vile and Mafala. Schemers. A prince of foul bargains and a prince of lust and conspiracy. They pose a significant threat to mortals when they act alone. When they act in concert, especially with Nocturnal present, the threat becomes existential. I have preparations to make outside my clockwork realm. You must stay vigilant. Take heed of any Daedric incursions and stand ready to fight. The prisoner wields great power, making reality of metaphor. We will need you before the end. A fool's hope, perhaps. I should explain. Look around you. All of this exists because it must exist. I stand here, in this place, in this moment, not because I wish to, but because I have to. A result of action and consequence. Clever, but incorrect. The prisoner must apprehend 2 critical insights. First, they must face the reality of their imprisonment. They must see the determinative walls, the chains of causality that bind them to their course. I have, but I fall short of the second insight. The prisoner must see the door to their cell. They must gaze through the bars and perceive that which exists beyond causality, beyond time. Only then can they escape. I see only unsteady walls. If the people of Tamriel must exist inside this cell, I will make sure that the walls are stable, the gaps are sealed, and all who remain stay safe within it. I've met few heroes like you. Very few. I take this matter of the Triad upon myself, but in truth, you may be the one that saves us. The prisoner who frees the world. We shall see. Farewell.
We don't... They say the hist weeps happiness when an Argonian hatches. How can a tree weep?
What nonsense. Everyone knows the hist isn't a tree.
Oh, maybe it's a giant Argonian dung pile. Now who's the silly one?
Lock your doors tonight.
Oh, what have
I found
done?
another one.
If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times.
Without a fight.
That high elf matches Mert Olivian's description. Ask him if he's seen Rennie Alendis. I should probably hang back.
Do I know you? I don't believe I do. Huh. I don't see how that's any of your affair. But if you must know, I did cross paths with that unscrupulous dark elf, and I'm worse for it. What's your interest? She came to me seeking information, and given our long-standing association, I entrusted her with it on the assurance that she would do me a simple favor in return. Instead, she ran off and played me for a fool. No one makes a fool of me. And I really need the antique inkpot she promised to procure. I'll tell you what I told her, Rennie, but only after my inkpot is returned to me and not a moment sooner. I'll not have my good faith taken advantage of again. My inkwell is currently in the possession of a banker here in Stormhaven, the result of an ill-advised card game. They seem to enjoy lording their victory over me, so they refuse to part with it at any price. I want it returned. I don't care how. It's one of a kind. The first work of the current Sapiarch of Shape and Form when they were still a student. Irreplaceable. I never thought an Argonian would beat me at the cards, but the banker has more of a head for numbers than I expected. I didn't. I just got so thoroughly thrashed at the table that I needed to offer collateral. Underroot must have known what a singular treasure it is. Now that she has it in her greedy claws, she'll never let it go. Willingly, anyway.
Caught the gist of that. That Sweat actually wanted my mom to rob a bank. I'm glad she had enough sense not to go through with it. Unless the reason we haven't heard from her is because she's in jail. No, she wouldn't. I mean, adventuring can be dirty business. My family is nothing but a bunch of no-good tomb robbers, depending on who you ask. But there's a big difference between digging through old ruins for treasure and outright stealing. No. If that were the case, she'd have written my father to pay her bounty. And while he should let her sit and learn her lesson, he's too much of a softie. She probably ran off like Mert said. So now it's us who have to get our hands dirty. Let's hope so. But if we do wind up breaking the law, we could have a worse partner in crime. You're a good friend. I can't believe I have to steal from a bank for my own fetching mother. This is why no one takes our house seriously.
You'd think the guards would have found something by now.
What? You expect them to do their jobs? Ha!
Is lost and war rages on. Warrior God.
Heavier.
casual. Just two people admiring the decorations. Oh, this is such a nice bank, isn't it? Oh, such refined taste.
Barge in, why don't you? It's not like I'm trying to work. This is a private office. Well, as private as an office could be that has no door or walls and barely fits a desk. I used to work in a much larger bank. Of course you are. Let me guess. Mir Tulivon's still trying to get his antique inkwell back. I swear, ever since Underroot won that cursed thing, it's been one bother after another. I suppose it makes a nice distraction. Not much of a windfall, but I suppose it'll take me a moment or two to update my ledger. I'll just be over here counting my gold.
Got it? Let's not overstay our welcome.
Doors tonight. They found another one.
Let them come. I won't go down without a fight.
Dare I ask, is the deed done? Is my little treasure to be returned to me at last? Do you have any idea how rare it is for a creation this ugly to survive on Somerset? Let alone one made by the premier authority on sculpture? I even had the original assignment's written grade. Barely satisfactory. It's priceless. At least Irene had an appreciation for rarities. I sent her to meet another antiquity hunter I deal with who made a discovery in Stone Falls that Irene would be interested in. Edvilda Stonestalker. She was probing my interest in Dwemer relics. I've no interest in it, but I knew Irene has an unhealthy interest in them. She was camped near Steamfont, last I heard. That's all I can tell you, so our business is concluded.
milk and help me out.
I can't wait to take a load off at the inn.
The forge keeps me busy. We put hammer... The forge keeps me. We put hammer...
The hearts of Dunmer are as dry as their land.
This? Edvilda? Someone killed her! Let's search the camp. Mom's scarf! Liam gave that to her last new life, when she was headed to Skyrim for the Snow Bear plunge. She wouldn't have left it. Did Edvilda write down anything important? Mom was definitely here. She had to have gone in a hurry if she left this scarf behind. Did Edvilda write down anything that would clue us in on where my mother's gone? Oh, not that fetching thing again! Mom... She's been chasing after my grandfather's Dwemer puzzle box for decades. Ever since the old Mer joined our ancestors at the tomb. It's her obsession. Don't tell me they got into a fight over it. Great. Just great. So the shifty Nord met my mother out here and ran afoul of bandits? That explains what happened to Edvilda, but Mom's not here, thank feck. But if she'd escaped, we'd have heard from her, right? They must have taken her captive. I've never been to the Inner Sea Armature. It must not be too far from Edvilda's camp. 3. I hope Mum's all right. Find more than trouble here. Dwarven pipes! By that cave! This looks promising.
Miri? Miri, am I glad to see you, Scrib. Get me out of these shackles.
Mom, do you have any fetching idea how worried I... Wait, are you cooking?
Don't mind Miri. She takes too much after her father. I've been dying to finally meet the person my daughter's been adventuring with. Though I hadn't planned on being chained up like a common criminal upon our first meeting. I was negotiating a lead from a contact I met out by Steamfont, and talks got a little heated. She was trying to take me for a ride, I could tell, and we must have caught the attention of these feckless swits. They tried to rob us. She tried to make a run for it, and they cut her down without a second thought. Figured I'd take my chances with another approach. Offered to be their cook if they spared my life. Fortunately, they aren't picky. I was beginning to run out of recipes. No, I suppose not. Won't be long before one of these fools gets bored or hungry and comes to swipe something from the pantry. You've done a fine job looking after Miri, so I'll follow your lead. But don't think we're done talking.
Can we please just get out of here now?
On the side!
Don't like your odds. I'm agreeable.
nicely done. I can see why you like them, Miri.
Don't think you're free and clear just because we escaped the bandits. What were you thinking?
Oh, come now, Miri. I've been doing this since before you were in diapers.
And you're not getting any younger. We almost lost Liam, and you nearly lost this. Would you trade it for that stupid puzzle box?
Liam's scarf? Miri, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I worried you all. It's just... I'll let it go.
We love you, Mom. We're your family. Go home.
Well, now I feel the fool. I made you all worry, dragged you into this mess. Sorry to be such a pain in the arse, as my daughter would put it. Maybe it's time I hung up my adventurer's ruck and settled in with my worrywart of a husband. I just hate leaving things unfinished. It was my father's prized possession. He spent decades trying to unravel its mysteries, until it was stolen from him. Then he spent the rest of his life trying to get it back, and most of mine after he died. I thought it might finally make him happy.
I know it probably seems like I'm being harsh, but Mum's been at this more times than I can count. She promises to give up on it, but then she catches some whiff of a lead about that damn box and she's off like a race squaw. This time, death was the only thing that stopped my grandfather from chasing after that stupid trinket. I don't want it to be the same for her. You can only keep rolling the dice in this life for so long. I hope so. Probably not. But I've weighed her down with enough guilt to hold her for a little while, at least. Either way, sorry for dragging you into my family drama. Are you kidding? If I don't get you out of here, she'll make you meet the entire extended family. Davin's watch is just down the road. She can make her way home from there. Thank you for putting up with all this. I'll make it up to you. Hope we find something interesting today.